Good morning, everybody. Auronnj here with another honkaistarrail video, and today I'm going to do my first honkaistarrail tier list since the game launched. We've been out for a little over a month now. I'm looking at the date, about a month exactly now. The game's making a ton of money, and I've played every character in the game almost, either through a friend character or through having them on either my free-to-play account or my paid account. I think I could give a reasonable take on all these characters and put together a tier list that I think is pretty good. Here's my tiers. I have S tier, A+, A-, B, C, and D. I'm a teacher, so in my mind, A is a great grade. If you're getting an A, I think you are a great unit. I have the S tier here because I think there are just a couple of units that are clearly ahead, especially for the state of the game right now. If I give you a B, that's a pretty good grade. I know it looks like it's halfway down the list, so it might feel bad putting a character into B. B is above average. C is like average, and D is like you barely passed testing. How are you in this game tier? Okay, let's start. Jing Yuan is the first character coming. He's the newest character. He's S tier. Right now, there's only two ways this game tells you your account is not ready to either achieve what you're going for or to beat the content you're in. Way one is you die. There's lots of ways to not die. Get shields, get healers. You can kind of like turtle up and sustain. But the other way the game checks you is turns. It asks you to complete certain things in certain number of turns. Think about the event right now, right? So essentially you're incentivized to do a lot of damage. Jing Yuan is one of the best 2 damage dealers in the game right now, especially his Lightning Lord follow-up attack is crazy. That thing hits so hard, especially if you build for it. He's nuts. He's going in S tier. One of the top 2 carries in the game. Okay, next up, Bronya. I'm giving Bronya an A+. If carries are the best thing in the game right now, Bronya is the best character in the game at supporting those carries, right? She gives them extra turns. She gives them more damage. I think she's amazing, and I think she's going to live in the A+ tier for a really long time. I don't foresee her ever, I don't foresee when she will be replaced in this tier. She's sticking in A+ for a while. Boom, there you go. She got an A on the test. She just didn't do the extra credit. Okay, Yon King is next. I'm dropping Yon King into the B tier. I just have not been impressed by this man. Him being hit is a little bit too devastating. It's really hard to play with him. He's harder to use than other characters, and he's harder to be reliable with than other characters. I don't own him myself. I really wished I pulled him on my free-to-play account so I could have tried to like feature him a little bit more, but from what I've seen, he does good damage given the right circumstances, so he gets a B, not a C, but I think there's other characters that are better damage dealers, better carries than he is. Next up, Seele. Best character in the game, in my opinion, is Seele. I love myself some Jing Yuan. I love myself Seele some more. This chick, she's single target. She's a single target character, except when there's more than one target and she's one-shotting him and just resetting her turns over and over again, especially if she has anybody supporting her. She is a single DPS character that gets 6 turns to everybody else's turn and kills the whole map. She's insane. She's nuts. I love this character. She's the featured character on my pay-to-win account. She is amazing. I think she's just a little bit better than Jing Yuan, but they're comparable. They're the best 2 carries in the game. That's why I put them in S tier. Okay, next up, Himiko. This one hurts my heart a little bit. I really want her. She's S tier in my heart, you guys. And you all know this, but she's dodged my account. She's dodged both of my accounts so far. So, points off from the teacher for that. And then, in all honesty, I think she does decent to good damage. She has a burn. Her follow-up attack mechanic is really cool. I think she's above average, but I'm not willing to give her an A, right? Like, as a teacher, she's that kid in your class who you really like them, and they're really trying hard on their test, but you grade it, and you're just like, you're looking for that place on the test where you can give them, like, one more point to make that 88 into, like, a 89.5, so you can round it up to a 90 and give them the A and send them home with a sticker, but she just can't get there. So I'm going to give her the B, and that's where she's going to live for now. Okay, next up, Gepard. Best shielder in the game. And if you needed somebody who could just help your team live through everything, build a Gepard. This dude is giving me 2,000 point shields for my whole team in my current pay-to-win account right here at E0. By the way, I'm assuming these 5-star characters are E0. I'm grading them at E0. The 4-star characters, I'm going to grade them as if you could either have them E6 now or relatively soon have them E4, E5, E6. Like, you probably have dupes of 4-star characters, but I'm not counting on you having any dupes of the 5 stars. Okay, so anyway, Japard's amazing. A+. Man, his shields change the game. If you have Japard, you can play a different game than other people play. Okay, next up is Clara. I love Clara. As far as damage dealers go, she might be the 3rd best damage dealer in this game, and she's kind of a tank on top of that. The things that she does not do is she doesn't draw aggro to herself except with her ult, which, hey, that counts, right? That counts because you need her getting hit. The thing is, she kind of needs like a March 7th with her, or some other way of like getting her some more aggro to fully unlock her. You don't have to run her like that. I have her on my pay-to-win account right now, and I'm loving. Playing her team is like one of the most fun times I'm having with the game. But I pair her with March 7th, and that really ups her a level. And then it's kind of just awkward to team build with her. I think that holds her back a little bit, and she doesn't do as much damage as these other two in most situations. So I'm giving her an A+. One of the best characters in the game. If you're playing with Clara, you are having a good time. Then we've got Welt. I don't know why some people still don't like Welt. Like, I'm totally cool with giving Welt an A. He doesn't quite do as much damage as some of these other carries, but his ability to, like, disable the enemy is very powerful. He scores an A- on my tier list. I would rather have these characters above him than him, but I think he's great. So I give him the A. Next up, Trailblazer Fire. Trailblazer Fire, I'm going to drop, okay, now look. People are going to hate me for this. They're going to hate me for not giving Trailblazer Fire an A+. I'm going to give Trailblazer Fire an A-. I think Trailblazer Fire is an awesome character. I love the ability to taunt. The damage isn't very good and does not provide, like, Japard is a better tank than Trailblazer Fire. Japard's a better tank than Trailblazer Fire. The thing with Japard, where Trailblazer Fire is better, is Fire can pull aggro to herself. Still, once you start building Japard, and especially if you happen to get a light cone that adds more aggro, the enemies attack Japard all the time. He doesn't need to taunt. And he can save your whole team anyway. Even if he's not taking damage, your whole team has 2,000 point shields. Or even if you just have him like at level 40, your whole team has 1,100 point shields. So he doesn't need aggro as much. Fire MC shields aren't as good. Fire MC is still a great character though, especially in like a mono fire team. So I'm going to put Fire MC as an A-. Still gets an A, right? I know it looks like it's halfway down the list, so before you come at me, I'm still giving her an A. Next up, Bailu. Now here's another one people are going to come at me for. I'm putting Bailu in the A- tier, and I'm putting down arrows next to Bailu. If you watched my tier list before the game came out, the thing I was concerned about with Bailu is that she's essentially only a healer, especially if you don't have any duplicates of her. Like, she's only healing or auto-attacking and generating you a skill point. All of that is useful, and it's useful enough that right now in the game, I'm giving her an A-. We're about to get another healer. Everybody's got Natasha. Everybody's got Natasha. Once another healer is out, a third one that does some damage as well as healing, will that person surpass Bailu in terms of like tier list power? I don't know. We'll have to see when he comes out. But I have Bailu A- right now, but this is my first trending arrows. I'm going to put Bailu as trending down a little bit. Then Physical MC, yeah. I mean, nobody plays Physical MC. Like, you just use Fire MC. And I'm using Physical MC right now on my free-to-play account, and like, he hits one person or he hits more than one person, and that's what he does. So, yeah, just D tier. He's fine. He passed, but like barely. I wish they'd buff him. Like, remember I said when D tier is I'm like, how did you get through testing? I wish they gave Physical MC something unique he could do that made him, you know, just pushed him up here with the rest of his 5-star friends. For now, he's going to sit in D because he's just sort of gone. Okay, now, the 4-star characters. Here we go. Remember, C means I think you're like average. Like, I think you do what you do, and that's fine, and you can be used. So Arlen is first. I'm going to drop Arlen into C. I love his ability as like a 0 skill point person. If his damage was a little bit higher, I could move him up. We've talked a lot about how his nerfs hurt him, I think. I'm just going to drop him into C. March 7th. I have March 7th in the A- tier. I love me some March 7th. Her ability to pass aggro around your group feels kind of game-breaking to me. She brings shields to groups that might not otherwise have shields. She enables Clara in a way that I love. I think March 7th is a great character. She's one of the main cast, so everybody has her. She feels really impactful to me, especially on my free-to-play account. Especially on my free-to-play account. Is March 7th just a staple? So I'm putting her right there. Next up, Dan Heng. I am using the heck out of Dan Heng in my free-to-play account too. And hey, he does single target damage, and it's decent. So he does what he's supposed to do. I still think he excels in any way, so I have him at C tier. And look, he's a single target DPS. Win. If there's a win boss, I'll throw Dan in there. He breaks him, he does his damage, it's cool, whatever. Okay, Su Sheng is next. For Su Sheng, I got Su Sheng hanging out in B tier. Her damage is pretty good. I really like her damage. And I really like that if you could get her, like, once you start getting her Eidolons, especially, I think it's E1 for her, she has the ability to do the 0 skill point usage thing on a broken unit. So if you've broke their weakness bar, she can sit here and just put out pretty good damage without using skill points. To me, since she does more damage than Auronnj, I like her as a B tier unit, and she kind of does the same sort of thing he does. I don't know. I use her a lot as well. She runs with Clara on my pay-to-win account, and I don't even have her, like, traces all the way built up, and I'm still impressed with her damage. She summons a big chicken, B-tier unit, so above average, right? But apparently my GeForce game drivers are ready to install. I just got that pop up. Don't know if you guys could see it too. Okay, Ting Yuan is next. Ting Yuan goes into A+ tier. This character is so good. So good. I think Bronya is better than her, but some people even disagree with that. There are people out there that think Ting Yuan is better than Bronya. Nope, I don't believe that's true. I think Bronya has an absolutely abusable mechanic. Might take a little bit more brain power to use it all the time, but Ting Yuan's ability to give energy back to your team, especially when you're newer, like if you're using somebody like a Gepard or a Clara and you need them to be ulting to save your group, you can, instead of using her ultimate on your carry, use it on one of them so they can cast their ult to give everybody a shield or to pull aggro off, or you can use her ult on a healer like Bailu or Natasha to get that big group heal. So she has a little bit of, like, sometimes she can support your other units instead of just your carries, but mostly she's passing her buff off to your carries, and then for 3 turns you don't even have to worry about rebuffing it. So I think she's an A+ character. Super good. Probably the best 4-star character in the game, in my opinion. Maybe not the most impactful, because that's probably Natasha, but whatever. Next up is Hook. Now I'm dropping Hook into the B tier. I know, guys, look, I know. There have been a lot, like, let's go back in time 2 weeks. There are a lot of whales 2 weeks ago that were posting videos of their E6 Hook doing a lot of damage. Here's the thing. Hook was on the first featured banner. Hook was on the first featured banner. She was one of the first units that people E6'd. Also, she's fire. It's very easy to build mono fire right now. You have Fire MC, you have Asta, you have Hook. You just need one more for mono fire. So, wait, well, let's look here. Well, okay, you got them at least. Anyway, you can build mono fire and splash in a healer. Hook, the game was set up for Hook to shine early. And still, I don't think she does, like, hard carry damage. I built my Hook out all the way. I featured Hook in some groups. She can absolutely carry for your team. And in fact, I'm putting her to B, which is above average. I think she's good, but I just don't think, like, some people have Hook, like, up here. I don't see that at all. I don't see that at all. That feels clickbaity to me. I'm going to drop Hook into B tier. Okay, next up is Natasha. Natasha is going to sit for me. Oh, man. I put Natasha in the A- tier, and, like, if I'm being real, I'm probably doing that. I think Natasha is better than Bailu, and I've used them both extensively. Bailu heals more than Natasha does, especially if you gear them both out. Bailu is a superior healer, but guess what? Every boss in this game is either freezing somebody or imprisoning somebody or freezing multiple people, and the ability for Natasha to just walk around and be like, you are no longer frozen, Gepard, go ahead and use your ult. You are no longer frozen, Seele, go ahead and get your resets and kill this boss. It's so valuable. Bailu not having that kind of sucks. Even Bronya has that, right? For Bronya, you can use her instead of supporting your carry. If you have somebody who's crowd controlled, well, Bronya can help them. So, I like, man, Natasha, I'm in the Natasha over Bailu club. That's me. And Natasha's in my featured group. Like, in my #1 team, I use Natasha over Bailu. And my account's stupid with Bailu. I have E1 Bailu. I don't have Himiko in that account. Yon King. I have Clara. I don't have Bronya. Like, I don't have a lot of characters. I don't have Sampo on that account, but I have E1 Bailu for some, because the game just keeps giving me Bailu. Anyway, next up, Serval. I got Serval in B tier. Really good AoE damage dealer. I'm featuring Serval in my free-to-play account because I might pull Tinyu on. Like, I haven't decided if I'm doing that yet with the free-to-play account, but Serval's very consistently AoE, very consistently good to above average damage, so B tier AoE damage dealer. Pela, this is what I struggled with. Pela does something that I don't know, like, Pela, her ability to debuff is very good. I like it a lot, especially if you give her the light cone that adds imprisonment, the like another defense debuff in there. Still, she feels B tier impactful to me because I have her at E6 on my pay to win account, and I'm still choosing to run other supports over her in most situations. So this is my tier list, and so I feel like if maybe there's a boss that's like weak to ice, I'll put her in over somebody else. But when I'm building teams, I'm putting other characters in over her. I love her debuffing ability, and maybe someday there'll be a boss or some mobs or something that have just insanely high defense, and you need her to get in there and be debuffing them. I haven't felt that yet. Maybe. I don't know. We'll see. Okay, Sampo's next. Sampo, I'm put up arrows next to Sampo. In theory, I really like this guy. Here's the thing. Don't have him on my free-to-play account. Don't have him on my pay-to-win account. Nobody runs this guy in their friend slot, so I don't have a way of using him. I love the damage over timeness of him. I like what he brings to the table. I just don't know. So I'm putting him in C next to Dan. I have given him the up arrows, though. In my mind, he's trending up. I think he's probably better than C. I think he could fit up here with, like, your Hook and Servals of the world. I just can't prove that yet. So let me know in the comments section if you think Sampo is a B tier unit, or maybe you think he's an A minus unit. Maybe you think he's an S tier unit. If you do, you're nuts. But, you know, who knows? Okay, next up, Herta. Herta's a C tier unit. She does what she does, right? Okay, she hits big gems at people. It's cool. She spins sometimes. It's kind of neat. But her damage just isn't there. She doesn't do as much damage as the rest of these people. And she's AoE, like better AoE damage here, better AoE damage here with the ult. I don't know. I put her in C. Maybe I'll try her out. Maybe somebody can convince me she's better than that. I don't know. Now, here's another one. Guys, I'm back and forth on this one. I have Asta here. Now, look. Asta is definitely above average. She is not a C tier character. She's at least here. I'm doing this with Asta. When I previewed this to chat a second ago, I had her here without the arrows. I'm going to put her here with down arrows. Let me tell you why. Okay, I think her speed buff is really, really powerful right now. In fact, I believe like when you're really pushing in-game, you want your characters at 134 speed. That I think is like the break point where bosses aren't lapping you, and that's important. She can really help your team get there if you're not geared. I think as the game progresses, as people are getting 5-star speed main stat boots with like crit damage on them or defense or whatever else, as people are building out their speed, she might become less valuable. However, right now, I think she's the only character in the game you build break effect on, and if you're fighting a fire boss, her ability to break that boss is game-changing. Like, and look, I don't know if y'all know how break effect works, but it does not help you break their bar, but when you break their bar, you will do more damage on the hit that breaks them. So, I have her, like, lightly geared out on my pay-to-win account, like, with just break effect stuff that I haven't leveled, and she'll sit there and be like, 400, 400, you know, she's doing her like multi-hit thing. And it's like 400, 400, 400, 9,876, 400. And so when she breaks them, she hits like one of these people. And it's really cool. And she's speed buffing the group, and she's buffing the group's attack. She does a lot. So I'm going to put her in A minus. Maybe she falls off later, but that's where I feel like she goes right now. And then, yeah, this chick, like Little King is what I call her because her name's really hard to pronounce. Yeah, I just don't like the RNG factor. Like, this is my tier list. I get that, like, Vulcan really likes this chick. She is also quantum damage, which Silverwolf isn't here yet. Or not Silverwolf, I'm sorry, Kafka. One of those two is quantum. So we're going to get another quantum character. But if you have Seele, there's, like, no reason to use Little King. I don't think. So I have her in C, just chilling down here with Herta. Dan and Arlen, and maybe Sampo, depending on what you guys think. All right, so there's my tier list, guys. That's how I think the characters play out. I think right now, damage is king in this game. I got the damage dealers at top. Then I have people that enable those damage dealers to do their thing, either by keeping them alive and doing some damage themselves, or by supporting them in the A+ tier. Then in A-, I just have a bunch of really good characters. Characters I think are really good. Welt, Fire MC, both the healers. March 7th and Natasha. I have these characters here at above average. These are the characters I think are average. And then there's Physical MC, and nobody cares about him. So, thank you all for watching. I hope you have a great day. Let me know if you think this is great, trash, whatever, in the tier or in the comment section. Yeah, that's it. I'm gonna get out of here before I say more things wrong. Peace out, everybody. See you next time.